Today is Friday, December 18th. Welcome to this edition of Nevada County Now. Today's episode, we're talking vaccine arrival, Nisenan recognition, local musicians, and more. Hello and welcome to Nevada County Now. I'm your host, Cole Pettit. We've seen an increase of 251 COVID-19 cases this week, bringing our total to 2,173 confirmed cases. 510 cases are currently active with 18 hospitalizations. Our regional ICU availability has dropped from 13.3% to 11.3%. And unfortunately, the death toll has increased once again from 21 at this time last week to 38, an additional 17 deaths in 1 week. Taylor Wolf, Public Information Officer for the County of Nevada, gave us an update on the coronavirus situation, including the demographics of the majority of the deaths, the testing site move, and vaccine arrival and distribution. Right, so you've got another update for us on the COVID situation here in the county. What do you got to tell us this week?
Yeah, so we recently changed our OptumServe testing site. It was formerly at the Grass Valley Veterans Hall, so we switched it over. It's only a half-mile away at the former Summer Times location. So that is at 231 Colfax Avenue in Grass Valley, just around the corner. Similar to our last location, we did start out with a drive-through outdoor model through the summer months, but we have switched back, like we were at the Veterans Hall, back to an indoor model just due to the winter weather that we may have and shortened daylight hours and making sure our staff can adequately do the testing that they need to do. But we do want people to know that all COVID mitigations are in place that you would expect from any doctor's office that you go in and visit. And we are able to get you in and out and tested safely and quickly. We are currently, as of our Thursday evening update, at 38 total deaths in Nevada County from COVID-19. All of these deaths have been in the age range of 60 plus, and a majority of them have been in those, skilled nursing facilities or assisted living facilities. So again, we all have our own personal responsibility to protecting those around us and limiting the spread. Our hearts go out to the families of these individuals at this time. It's incredibly hard because during a pandemic, it's even harder to mourn those we've lost in our community as well.
So also other big news, I believe our shipment of vaccines arrived just yesterday. Is that correct?
Yes, this is very welcome news. We've been talking about vaccines as the light at the end of the tunnel. We're not through the tunnel yet, but we're starting to see the light. So very welcome, exciting news, both for us at Nevada County Public Health in the county, for our 2 local hospitals, because that is where our shipment is going. It is going to Tahoe Forest Hospital up in Truckee and Sierra Nevada Memorial Hospital in Grass Valley. And our first shipment includes 975 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. So it's not a lot, but we'll continue to get doses possibly weekly from the state and start distributing those out. So very exciting news. We got our first shipment of 975 yesterday, Thursday morning. And then after we start getting our frontline healthcare workers vaccinated, the next people who are prioritized are those who live in care facilities, such as skilled nursing facilities or long-term care facilities. So we're really excited to start seeing this come to Nevada County and be able to get it distributed. There is no waiting list for getting the vaccine in Nevada County at this time. That's a frequently asked question that we get because we realize people are excited and want to get the vaccine too. But we want people to know that as the availability increases and we get more doses here in Nevada County, it'll eventually be available widely throughout the county, and you could go get it through your local healthcare provider or Nevada County Public Health as well. But bottom line, going back to the beginning, we're seeing the light. We're not through the tunnel yet. So please, especially as we move through this holiday season, continue to stay home, stay within your household unit. We know it's incredibly tough this year, but people, as always in our community, which we so appreciate, are getting creative on how to celebrate safely. So stay home, wear your mask, keep your distance, shop local if you can, and continue to keep our community safe and healthy until we can get more vaccines distributed into our community.
Thanks, Taylor. At Tuesday's Board of Supervisors meeting, the board voted unanimously to support the restoration of federal recognition of the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan tribe. The history pertaining to the Nisenan's federal recognition and its termination is complicated and includes unratified treaties, presidential action, congressional legislation, judicial judgments, and complicated and time-consuming administrative processes. The Nevada City Rancheria was one of 44 rancherias illegally terminated in the 1950s and 60s by the California Rancheria Termination Acts. Most have been restored at this point. During the meeting, Shelley Covert explained the need for federal recognition.
The restoration of our federal recognition is paramount to the survival of our Nisenan culture. We were at ground zero here at the gold discovery, and the swiftness that the gold rush came, and the people were just wiped out. They were displaced. We ended up, as you saw in the presentation as well, we ended up with no land. It feels like as soon as the people would start to get a little stability, the rug would be pulled out again. And it seems to have happened over and over and over. And I know that county is proud of our history. I heard with the Landmarks Commission earlier, we are proud of these things. And this history has been missing for quite some time. And it has been decades long work. My mother did it before me and my grandpa before her. Really to get this history back into the history books, back into the living memory of our community members here today. And I feel that the federal recognition is the support net. It's like the safety net that we do not have. There is no, there's nothing to help. There's no funding. There's no, the tribal members have no access to the federal Indian programs that are already created and already there for Indian people. Health, housing, education, economic development. I look online a lot when I'm looking for grants, and you see these amazing federal programs for you guys were talking about broadband earlier. Some of the Indian grant funds are for the block grants, the community block grants. We're not able to access any of those funds because we are not federally recognized.
Board Chair Heidi Hall voiced her support.
It's something I've been looking at and interested in and working on since I started on the board 4 years ago. This is actually for me, one of the proudest moments I've had here on this board. Sue, thank you so much for doing this with me. This is fantastic.
This action taken by the Nevada County Board of Supervisors is one of many next steps toward federal recognition for the Nevada City Nisenan Rancheria. Also at Tuesday's meeting, the Board of Supervisors unanimously approved an allocation of $100,000 to support small, locally owned businesses most impacted by the state's orders. This board action, sponsored by Board Chair Heidi Hall and Vice Chair Dan Miller, supports the Nevada County Relief Fund's efforts to raise at least $200,000, which will be distributed as grants to eligible businesses countywide. We'll learn more about this next week when I chat with Nevada County Executive Office Projects Administrator Caleb Dardick, but for now, the grant application is open. To apply, visit nevcorelief.org/apply, and if you'd like to make a tax-deductible gift, please visit nevcorelief.org/donate. As the pandemic continues and lockdowns and stay-at-home orders are prominent across the country, many musicians have not been able to continue to perform in their usual venues. Recently, though, there appears to be a trend of more music being released and produced from top-level artists like Taylor Swift. Sonora Slater decided to see if some of our local musicians have been able to find a silver lining through this pandemic by using their newfound time to create new music. Let's see what she found out.
Thanks, Cole. The negative impact of the pandemic on artists is evident to all of us, from the closings of museums and art galleries to the cancellation of live shows. And the challenges they have faced this year are certainly worth reporting on. But a key idea in art is the concept of looking at things from a new perspective. Without downplaying the often adverse circumstances of 2020, how can we shine a positive light on the ways that artists learned, grew, and benefited from this unique period of time? To answer this question, I focused on our local musicians and talked to a couple of them to see what their silver lining was this year. Michael Lorenzo has been a musician for over 50 years, but for a while he stopped playing entirely. He gave his instruments to his kids, and even though music was still a big component of his life, playing music no longer was. Then, at the end of 2019, he began to play again. He connected with other local musicians in Nevada City, started playing at jam night at a local bar, and loved what he was doing. And then COVID-19 hit, only a few months into the resurgence of his passion. He knew that he had a choice, to give up or to take it as an opportunity. He took the latter option and has used the time to reconnect with his instrument, learn new things, and expand his knowledge, playing for 1 to 2 hours every single day. Michael said that he's been recording himself throughout the lockdown, and he believes that he's playing better now than he ever has before. Brendan Lee, another local musician, graduated from Bear River High School earlier this year, and is part of a band called Kite and Key. They write their own music, and Brendan said that the extra time they've been given this year has allowed them to write more music of higher quality than they otherwise would. In addition, they've been practicing together weekly. Of course, he does miss live music, and believes that audiences miss it as well. He's extremely excited to get back to playing at live venues. Playing for people is what makes music worth it, he said. Michael expressed a similar sentiment, saying that for him, any art he creates is only half finished until he goes out and shares it with someone else. It doesn't matter if it's an audience of one or a stadium, he said, but it's essential. For the sake of musicians and audiences, the end of the pandemic will be a blessing, as we enjoy live music again and appreciate art in all its forms together as a community. But for the time being, artists haven't stopped creating, and they'll continue to do what they love despite anything that's thrown their way. Back to you, Cole.
Thanks, Sonora. While we've received a fair bit of rain over the last few days, we remain below our normal rainfall averages for this time of year. The U.S. National Weather Service in Sacramento has released a chart showing our rainfall totals so far compared to previous years, which shows just how far behind we currently are. The next week is not slated to help us out much in that regard, as seasonal temperatures and dry conditions are expected through much of the week. It appears unlikely we'll be having a white Christmas this year. On Wednesday, we held a telethon in partnership with Hospice of the Foothills and Bear Yuba Land Trust. This Christmas-themed event was intended to provide some holiday cheer while raising a bit of money for ourselves and these other fantastic organizations. We have decided to continue to rebroadcast and extend the donation window until December 23rd. All donations received during this time will be split evenly between the three organizations. You can catch the show on Comcast Channel 11 at 6 p.m. from Sunday through Wednesday the 23rd, or watch anytime on our YouTube or Facebook pages. We'll leave you this evening with a quick look at some of the fun. Please enjoy the wonderful Allison Kenyon as Santa's secretary, and be sure to tune in for more. Remember, stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you next week.
Where is it? I have looked everywhere. This is the last box I've looked in. No. No. Oh, dear. No. Definitely no. Oh, my goodness. If I don't find it, there is going to be trouble. Oh, hi, John. I didn't see you there. I am trying to find the North Pole. Exactly. What are we supposed to do at the North Pole without a North Pole? That's definitely not it. I think, oh dear. Just as I suspected, and Santa tried to hide it in this box, hide the evidence. Santa loves candy canes. I think you already know that. And he's always eating our North Pole. And look, this is all that's left. Oh, Santa. Gonna have to make a new one. Well, here goes. I've got my special magic stocking. I'll take a little white. Get in there, you. And a little red. And oh, we have to add some North Pole snow. I've got that right here. Oh, I hope this works or we're gonna be in big trouble up here at the North Pole. There, I hope that's enough. Okay, well, I'll use the old North Pole to sort of stir things together here. I'm glad he left me something to work with. Okay, Santa. Oh dear. Oh, there it is. Okay, Santa. We've got you covered. There it is. Whew. Oh, there we go. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. Oh. Come on. It's like pulling out a loose tooth. Whew. North Pole has a North Pole now. Goodness, we'll just put this right here. I was about to lose my druthers.